HBO has finally come out with it, the official confirmations of their first casting in the Harry Potter reboot series. And I'm disappointed because I really thought that the race swap of Snape was possibly bait. But they confirmed it. They confirmed that Snape is now black.
I did actually think that was gonna. I had a slight inkling that it was gonna not happen.
It's real. But let's go through the list. So, first off, we've got, of course, John Lithgow playing Dumbledore. They've confirmed as well Janet McTeer from Ozark. She's playing Professor McGonagall. And then you've also got, of course, Papa Essiedu, who is playing Snape. That's just the sticking point for me. Like, I can't get on board with that. Nick Frost is playing Hagrid. And they mentioned a couple of other less prominent roles. Luke Thallin will be playing Professor Quirrell. I don't know how to say it.
Quirrell.
Right. And then Paul Whitehouse playing caretaker Argus Filch.
Yeah, the Filch one won't be noticeable until they give him the bad teeth and the long hair. Then you'll be able to see it more clearly.
I'm sure that a lot of the believability is post makeup and costuming and lighting and all of that, the atmosphere of the show. But you cannot make people get on board with African Snape.
They keep also referring to faithful adaptation. They keep using it as like a buzzword.
Yeah, they are.
But it makes the one race swap more like stand out more.
Right, exactly.
It would have been less weird if you just race swapped a bunch of characters rather than just one that's arguably the most important character that isn't the main three.
Just like split it all over the place so that nobody can focus their outrage on anything in particular.
I thought this tweet from Stephanie was accurate. She says, and just like that, everyone who picks on Snape is going to be labeled a racist. In 2025, they would never let the silent hero of this series be a white man. What a shame. Look, is the argument supposed to be that race relations in the UK are not the same thing as race relations in America? Therefore, it's not supposed to translate that way? Because they're still going to have to do the scene where they hang him upside down under the tree.
Well,
that is a pivotal point for that character.
That ignores the fact that, of course, a huge audience for this show is going to be American. Yes, the history of race relations in the UK is far different from the US, but only to a certain degree. Papa Essiedu, he is African, right?
Correct.
I don't remember what nationality he is, but he is African descent. And that, on its own, as a migrant from a third world country, you know, there's a lot of baggage there in the culture in the UK because of the migrant crisis there. So I wouldn't say race relations are stellar, and you're poking a bear, essentially. And I wanted to go through this statement that they gave from Mark Mylod, the director. He said, "We're delighted to have such an extraordinary talent on board. We cannot wait to see them bring these beloved characters to new life." They specifically addressed the Snape race swap. Papa Essiedu's casting has caused a stir among some fans, as Snape has traditionally been viewed as a white character.
He has not been viewed that way. He is actually that. There's a reason why they say his face went marble white.
Yes.
And sallow skin.
Right.
Just no, and all the drawings that were used. Look, I would have had more respect for you if you had just said, we decided to change it.
Right. Just admit that you wanted to do it.
I'm fine with, I would say that it's a bad choice, but I would have more respect for you rather than playing these weasel words.
Because they're, insulting our intelligence. But yeah, traditionally viewed as a white character portrayed by the late Alan Rickman in the film series, Mark Mylod commented saying, "Nobody can replace Alan Rickman, but we can find the next Alan Rickman." Bro.
Adam Driver was available, I bet.
Nobody can replace Alan Rickman, but we can replace Alan Rickman. That's literally what that means.
I wonder if I wonder if they offered Adam Driver the role and he's just like, bro, that's 7 series. That's like 12 years. I'm not doing that.
Oh, but he's not British though.
Yeah, but neither is John Lithgow. John Lithgow's American.
Right, so but they'll just come up with some excuse for why this somehow makes sense if you do enough intellectual backflips.
I've heard it's gotten even worse for you guys who like Doctor Who. I don't watch Doctor Who, but I've heard it's gotten even worse with the virtue signaling over there with Russell T Davies and whatnot. But the thing is, guys, so they haven't cast the kids yet. They said that they're in the process of casting. They've looked at like 32,000 young actors and actresses, right? So what you're going through right now is an unbelievably like harrowing experience of trying to make this happen, right? You're trying to distill down arguably 7 of the most popular books of the last 50 years and make a viable television show out of it, where for once you actually have like an original that people look on very, very, very fondly. Right? People love those original movies, no matter how much got cut out, whatnot. And you're setting yourself up for more work than you need to by creating controversy where there doesn't need to be any.
Right.
And I don't understand how. I mean, I guess it's because they're different divisions, but given the amount of money that, say, Universal has put into creating the Wizarding World, you think they would have called over to Warner Brothers and like, bro, please, like, can you please not do this? Could you please not let this happen? Because our theme parks don't want to lose business because you turn people off this. Now, there's the possibility, a slim possibility, but maybe what happens is this guy ends up being so good in this role. Like, I've never seen Black Mirror, the stuff that he's been in. Maybe he ends up being a generational talent and it ends up being the most amazing thing ever. But that's not really possible because he doesn't actually command enough screen time to change people's opinion in that way. So all it ends up becoming is something that has the potential to be great everywhere else, with one very, very noticeable area where it's going to draw issues in every scene.
Well, you would think they were spread thin already, right? Like, they had enough controversy to go around with just J.K. Rowling at the helm and the accompanying boycotts because of her outspokenness on the transgender issue. So it is quite puzzling that they would just choose another outrage cycle for themselves. Like, do you think that it's like a distraction tactic? Like, they're trying to get other people to like, hey, look over there. Like, there's this other controversy that has nothing to do with J.K. Rowling or what? What is the thought process? It's truly just
I can't think of
ignorance. It's just hubris. It's that they didn't see this coming.
It would have made more sense if like a bunch of characters were changed from their original versions. Like, that would have made more sense to me.
Even that would have been met with a lot of criticism and
but then that would have been,
but
that would have been all encompassing. This is just like, you're doing everything right, but this one thing, but the one thing that you got wrong is really, really important.
We got a 20 from Tuxedo Mask. Hogwarts in the hood, yo. We was wizards and shit. See, now you're only going to be seeing jokes like that, and there's no way to escape it.
In the chat, they're like, yeah, I understand that J.K. Rowling is a feminist who did these types of things all the time. I'm not saying that that's not true. She likes money, though, right? So apparently she doesn't like it enough to leave these characters alone. I don't know how much input she had on this. There's never been.
She has allegedly been heavily involved.
Again, I don't know. That doesn't confirm anything to me. Like, I don't know what that means for any of that. But they've set themselves up, if not for failure, they've set themselves up for mediocrity and something that's unbelievably of its time.
And this is setting itself up for close to a decade.
I would be willing to bet
in the culture.
I would be willing to bet that because they did the race swap in House of Dragons, and House of Dragons was still successful, some executive who doesn't understand the differences between the fan bases or the gravity and size of the Harry Potter scope said that we did it there and it was fine. Nobody cared. We're going to do it here.
They're so dumb. Like, all they needed to do was confirm Adam Driver for Snape. Or, you know what? Get that goth guy who co-hosts Great British Baking Show. I don't care.
Okay.
Then have him do like a voiceover or something. But no, Adam Driver, get him. no matter what the cost is. This is a huge endeavor. It's about a decade-long project. It has a lot to do with the actual attendance at your theme parks and the merchandise and everything.
Those are the theme parks are different.
The investment will be worth it.
But yeah,
you know that the investment will be worth it though, and then get Cillian Murphy for Voldemort. That's the other one that they need. They have not announced that casting yet either. But here was an interview with Channing Dungji from Warner Brothers in Deadline. They asked, are you close to naming Harry, Hermione, and Ron or confirming the adult cast? He said, we are not ready to announce the kids. We're still working our way through that process. You at Deadline are consistently breaking the news, even when we're not ready. I feel like you are very up to speed on all things Harry Potter in that way. They say, we don't have Voldemort yet. That's one I'm missing. He said, we're still weighing a couple of different options there, so we're not quite ready there yet. That's an important role to get right. Deadline says Cillian Murphy has been the one fans really want in the role, and he has been rumored for another Harry Potter character too. Is that a possibility? And then he responds, I have no comment, no comment, no comment.
There's a 20
He had no
there from
comment
Kenneth
times
Hart.
3. Kenneth Hart said, I demand an all Idris Elba Harry Potter reboot. We spent so much time asking if we cannot. Should we? We have the tech. The answer is yes for the lulz.
What if they made him Voldemort?
You know what? At this point, I wouldn't put it past them. But he seems
He can
to
play.
be...
He might be too old to play Kingsley Shacklebolt.
With the cheeky no comment thing,
Yeah.
they seem to be hinting they will get Cillian Murphy to play Voldemort, and I think he would do it.
Yep.
But it is a huge commitment with your time and just the trajectory of your career.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is going to define a whole era of your life.
Yep. And they've got a lot of time to spend on it. Like the thing is, like if you want to get an actor that's big enough, you might be able to be like, we'll work around your schedule. Meaning like if we need to get your stuff shot first, we'll get your stuff shot first. But you can't really do that because the kids take precedence. You have to get that stuff filmed as quickly as possible. You can't give any of the adult actors any of the lead time because the kids have to be the first priority to make sure that they get the stuff done while they still look young enough.
They addressed that in The Hollywood Reporter. No child stars for the critical roles of Harry, Ron, and Hermione and Draco have yet been cast. Given the characters are only 11 years old in the first book, it would make sense to cast them as close to the start of production as possible. HBO said it expected to begin filming mid-2025, and there were 32,000 auditions. They have a team viewing somewhere between 500 and 1,000 auditions per day.
I feel like you cast younger.
Cast 9, 10-year-olds?
Like 9 and 10. So, like, to give yourself lead time. Like,
Yeah.
they're not good. Let's face it. A 10-year-old actor is not any better than an 11-year-old actor. Mm-hmm. That's not a thing. You get 9 and 10-year-olds who are they're not gonna be any good at acting. That's fine. And I have some faith that most of the people understand that. They used to say that, like, if you go watch old reviews of the original Harry Potter movies, a lot of times they're like, look, they weren't that good in the beginning.
They were pretty good though.
Hermione, like, enunciated everything that she ever said. But they'll grow into the roles and they'll get better with time. You get better the longer you do something. So you cast them younger so that you have some lead time because they're just gonna start growing up so fast, and the whole production is going to be hinging on that. I mean, that or what you do is
I know, puberty blockers.
I mean, what's even funnier is like,
how about J.K. Rowling prescribes them puberty blockers?
It would be exactly. It would be even funnier if like they don't even bother to try to keep to a schedule, and they're just 30 by the time they're done, and they don't address it. Like my idea that I said to Mary, you just cast the original 3 as Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and you just never address it. They're just 35-year-olds at Hogwarts, and you don't call them 35-year-olds. You say, oh, you're 11. Yes, I'm 11. He's got a beard. Like you don't say anything about it.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. I mean, I don't think they would want to work with J.K. Rowling again. But
no, this is too ridiculous. People are right to be mad about it because in 2025, it has been long enough for these studio executives to know better.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.